and welcome! Today we'll be covering one of the absolute basics of amigurumi, and that is how to make a circle like this and not a hexagon like this. So if you can see in this example right here, I have these little pointy spots right here. And I will show you how to, even though I did the exact same number of stitches, exact same everything between these two, I will show you how to avoid this kind of beginner mistake of having the pointy corners when you're trying to make a circle. Now overall, I'm going to talk to you about how to make a magic ring, how to single crochet in the round using the magic ring, and how to increase. As far as how to invisible decrease, which is another staple of amigurumi, I'm going to make another video that will detail that will come out next week. Today I will be using a 5mm Boye ergonomic crochet hook. Now keep in mind, when you're doing amigurumi, you'll typically use a crochet hook 1 to 2 sizes smaller than the yarn recommends. For the sake of demonstrating the stitches today, I'm using a larger hook. This is one of my go-tos. I will also have this Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn in cream, or number 796. Another absolutely vital thing for this video is a stitch marker, just like this guy. Now I know plenty of people, actually maybe not plenty, I know a handful of people that can crochet amigurumi without ever using a stitch marker or anything to denote when the first stitch of the round is. Those people are superheroes. They are amazing. I'm not one of them, and I've been crocheting for well over 2/3 of my life. If you haven't gotten to the point where you don't need a stitch marker, that is just fine, because I haven't gotten there either. Now the very first thing that we need to do is we are going to make a magic ring. Now what a magic ring is a slip knot that you are crocheting around, which makes it so that you can fasten down your work to a teeny tiny pinpoint. So just to demonstrate what that looks like, I have 6 single crochet in a magic ring right here. You will see basically this exact same thing in just a moment in this video as well. You can see if I grab this, because we crocheted around a slip knot, if I pull this short end, that ring magically gets itty bitty and small. Now I'm going to undo this, which is called frogging. Bam! And I'm going to show you just step by step how I make a magic ring. Now, for every person that you will meet or find on the street, more than likely there is a way to make a magic ring. So many people do it so many different ways. I'm going to show you one way. This is the way that I personally do it. So I'm going to take my yarn, and this short end, this end that is not connected to my ball of yarn, I'm going to hold in the bottom 3 fingers of my left hand. Now, important to note, in all reality, my little pinky right here is doing all the work. These other 2 guys, they're just here for moral support, but close those around here. I'm going to take the long end of my yarn, the bit that is connected to my ball of yarn, ball or skein, and I'm going to bring it over my first finger. Now, from left to right, front to back, I'm going to bring up a loop right here. So again, left to right, front to back. I'm going to bring it back to the front, then to the back again, make an X. Right here, X marks the spot. I'm going to grab this loop that I just made, bring it over the long end of my yarn. Now if I were making just a slip stitch, I would grab this guy, take my finger out of this ring like so, and I would just start, get this nice and tight, and I would start crocheting. But that's not what I'm doing. This is a magic ring for me. So I'm going to grab my crochet hook here, insert it into this loop. I always end up doing this next part with my middle and ring fingers, just like so. I'm going to yarn over and pull through to the front. And now this right here is a magic ring. Now I can go ahead and just using this right here as a base, I will work my 6 single crochet. Now important to note very first, I do need to chain. So I'm doing single crochet, so I'll chain 1. So I'll yarn over, pull through. And if you need help with the very basics of crochet, needing help with things like how to chain, how to single crochet, even how to half double crochet and double crochet, I do have a video for that. I will put a link up here in this corner. but I'm assuming that for this video that you already know how to do those things, so we're just going to get going. Now, important to note, when I am crocheting around this magic ring, I'm going to crochet around the side of the ring that has 2 pieces of yarn coming off of it. This side right here that only has 1 piece of yarn, we just ignore him. We'll get to him in a minute. But for the most part, we are going over the 2 pieces of yarn. So assume crocheting position. We're going to take our hook, dip into the magic ring, yarn over, pull back to the front. That's going to give us 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through, wham bam, that's a single crochet. Now this is when my friend Trusty Dusty Mr. Stitch Marker comes into play. Now I'm going to bring him under, just like this, both loops of that single crochet. I'll just show you that one more time. 1 loop, 2 loop, and this guy is the type of stitch marker that works like a safety pin, so I can just boop, lock him into place. There are different kinds of stitch markers. Lots of people like different kinds. This is just what I prefer. So now that I've marked my very first single crochet, I'm going to make 5 more single crochet all the way around. Now I'm not going to speed through this. I'm not going to fade to black and just magically have a finished ring. For all of my peeps that are still relatively new to crochet, I'll just do this real slow on camera so you can see what I'm doing. So that's 4, 5, 6. I told you guys you'd be seeing this kind of look again, and here we are. Now, where we have worked in magic ring, I'm going to fasten this bad boy down. Now I'm going to do that by taking my short end right here, just gently tugging until that loop begins to close. Now, where I'm still going to be working in this, I am going to leave just a little bit of hole right here, so you can see, maybe it's better with the blue background, exactly how tight I've gotten that. Once I finish round 2 is usually when I tighten it down the rest of the way. If you tighten it all the way right now, it makes it difficult to work into these first couple of stitches. So I'll just put that to the side and start going now. Important to note, we will not be slip stitching into this first stitch and chaining up. Instead, we are going to work, instead of in concentric rings, bam, 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 bam kind of a thing, we are going to work in one continuous spiral that goes all the way around. So let's get rid of Mr. Stitch Marker just for a moment. Don't worry, we'll get back to you in just a sec. And I am going to, in this very first single crochet, I'm going to put 2 single crochet into that spot. This is called an increase because you are increasing the number of stitches you have by 1. Perfect. So that was 2 single crochets into 1 little hole. I'm going to bring Mr. Stitch Marker back and put him just on the front half, the first stitch of my increase, the first single crochet that went into that same hole. But now if you count, instead of having 6 single crochet, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in my work here. I'm going to do that in each stitch around, so that is increasing by 6. We started with 6, we're going to end this round with 12. And how this is going to work is we are going to add 6 stitches by doing increases every single round. So I did my increase here. Let's do another increase into this stitch. Perfect. Now keep working all the way around until you've done your two single crochet or 1 increase into this very last stitch. Alrighty friends, we have finished up round 2, so you can see we went from 6 stitches right here in the first round to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stitches in this round. Now I am going to go ahead, and I feel confident in going ahead and tightening this down the rest of the way. I'll just gently tug till that's nice and closed. Now we're going to move on to round 3. So again, we are going to increase by 6. We're going to do that by putting an increase every other stitch. Let's set the stitch marker to the side. We're going to put an increase into this very first stitch. Perfect. Put our stitch marker back in the very first part. Now instead of doing an increase here, we're going to do just a regular single crochet. Perfect. Now we'll do an increase and a single crochet. And you'll do this all the way around. And that ends up being 6 increases and 6 single crochets, just spaced evenly every other all the way around. So when you get to your very last stitch, that will be a single crochet. Come back and chat with me, or I guess really just watch me work at that point. Okay guys, I have finished that round 3. I'm now going to go into round 4. So for round 4, what we're going to do is again increase by 6. So what that means is for every, we'll have 1 increase and 2 single crochets. So, and we'll continue that all the way around. Now this is kind of a little bit more of an advanced tip, but for those who want to go a little bit extra to make it a very nice circle instead of a hexagon, let me set this to the side. This right here is what happens if you don't stagger your stitches. So you end up with more of a hexagonal look. So here's a little point, here's a little point, here's a little point, here's a little point, all the way around. Now this is caused by doing your increases in the first stitch of every round every single time. So instead what we're going to do is called staggering our stitches. So instead of doing an increase right here, since I will have 2 single crochet grand total that I do in between each increase, I'm going to put 1 here at the beginning of the round and 1 at the end of the round, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, let's go to the side stitch marker. So I'll single crochet this first spot, welcome back, stitch marker, and now I'm going to continue as normal, do my increase and 2 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Increase, single crochet, single crochet. I'll do that again. Increase, single crochet, single crochet. Now I'll go all the way around until I only have 2 stitches left. Okay guys, I just did an increase right here, then 2 single crochet. I have 2 left before finishing my round. I'm going to do an increase, then a single crochet. So just like at other points in this round, I have increase, single, single, but this time it's broken up over the 2 different sides of the round. So I have single crochet, and I'll have increase and single crochet on this side of the row. Perfect. So that's increase, single crochet. Just the single crochets are split up between sides of the round. The reason I do this again is so that I don't have these little points from doing the increase in the exact same spot every single round. Now let's move on to round 5. Do this by increasing at the beginning of the round. So increase, add my stitch marker back, and I will do 3 single crochet over the next 3 stitches. Now I'll increase, 3 single crochet. Go ahead and do this all the way around. When you come back to your stitch marker, come back and chat with me at that point. All right, guys, I just finished up that row. Now we are going to move on to row number, I believe it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, row number 6. So for this row, it's another situation where we have an even number of single crochets. So we will have an increase and then 4 single crochets for every increase, and that's how we continue to increase by 6 every single turn. Now again, I'm going to split those in half, so we'll do the first 2 at the beginning of the row, last 2 at the end of the row. Show you what that looks like. Insert our hook, bring the stitch marker back. So that's 2 single crochet. Now I'll increase and then do 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, increase, 4 single crochet. Now go ahead and continue going all the way around until you have 3 stitches left at the very end. Check with me at that point. Alright guys, I have my 3 stitches left. Now I'll do my increase here, then 2 single crochet here. That way I still have my increase and 4 single crochet. It's just split between the beginning and the end of the row. Fantastic. Now I have, for the sake of this video, finished up this little project. And again, you don't have any of those harsh kind of corners in this like you did, or like you would if you had done the increases at the beginning of every row. So that's going to be the end of this video. I'm going to go ahead and continue this little project, and we will revisit this project at next week's video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked this video or been entertained by this video, or just overall think that this was a good video, hit the like button down here in the bottom left hand side. If you want to keep seeing videos from me, either for more step-by-step stitch tutorials or some beginner-friendly projects like I have done thus far, also hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you're notified every single time I come out with a new video. Until then, I will see you guys next week, and ta-ta for now.